You're listening to the Renegade Blitz, the best podcast for Steelers fans by Steelers fans. Follow us on Twitter at Renegade Blitz, at RBlitzPod, and at Blitz Videos. Read articles on RenegadeBlitz.com, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app.
All right, guys, and welcome back to the Renegade Blitz podcast. I'm Ty Polk with Chris Ward and Brandon Walker. And what a first game of the season that was. 5 overtime possessions. A couple missed field goals. You know, some laces out, not being applied, working out again for maybe the second time in a game in which Minkah Fitzpatrick had a pick six. I think people are going to have to look back into the archives for that. But overall, how are we feeling about it on this Victory Monday as we record this podcast on Monday, of course?
Brady, you want to go first?
Okay, since I have to go first. A win is a win. I'll just say it took you 7 sacks, 5 turnovers. Supposed to win. You ain't supposed to win at the gun, but you're supposed to win handily, but we'll take that.
Yeah,
it just proves the importance of special teams.
Yeah, definitely. The long snapper situation there.
People take the long snappers for granted until you don't have one.
It's like no one wanted to win that game. On one hand, the Bengals turned the ball over, 5 times, 7 sacks. So they didn't really deserve. They were -5 in the turnover differential margin, so they didn't deserve to win the game. And the Steelers, they squandered a bunch of opportunities. They only had, I think, like 13 first downs. They're out-timed in the possession, greatly. Trubisky, I was, during the game, like just watching it at first, it looked like he didn't see the field really well. And, I don't know, like his accuracy was kind of off also, I thought. But, credit to him, he didn't turn the ball over at all. And he had the game-winning drive was really nice. But I would be lying to say if I'm not worried about the offense, just, the offensive line, we talked about that before. Just running the ball. Najee Harris now has, his Liz Frank. I guess he re-aggravated it, and they're saying he should be good to go this week. But I'm concerned by the offense, and the defense I think is amazing. But we also have the T.J. Watt situation with the Peck also.
Yeah, man, the defense was amazing. Even Devin Bush had the nerve to make some plays out there.
Yeah, Devin Bush was.
Hold on, time out. I gotta say this because I am happy for Devin Bush. I have nothing against him personally. I just criticize your game. If your game's good, I will compliment you. If your game sucks, you're going to hear my mouth. And yesterday, he played good. Did give up a run. All right. But overall, I like what I saw. If he plays like that, he's going to need to play like that for the next, for the Watt situation.
Yeah, Alex Highsmith, went off too with 3 sacks. That was a really good performance. Yeah, the Bengals, they had 4 new offensive linemen, I think, on their O-line, and they didn't look. This could be the Steelers pass rush, but they didn't look all that impressive though. Burrow's still having the same issue where he's getting sacked all the time.
I mean, what makes me want to go back and redo my prediction for the Steelers going 6-11 is just the ball hawks out there on this defense. It came out of, I wouldn't even say left field because if we're going to be in Cincinnati, I mean, Great American Ballpark, that's a pretty small yard. I'd have to say it came all the way from Columbus because I did not see that coming out of that defense. I didn't think they would be able to, maybe they were going to put pause on Joe Burrow, but I just felt that there was going to be some sort of Burrow magic that came through. And for the most part, the Steelers stopped the tricks.
It was the special teams from the Bengals that did that, too, because that could have.
Yeah, they would have won if
it was that.
Their long snapper. Yeah.
But.
And where do they get their long snapper from? They get a long snapper from Central Catholic, Cal Adamatis. So I guess if everything now Central Catholic has the most pros in the NFL for a school in the state of Pennsylvania, DeMar Hamlin as well, Kurt Heinisch and Rodney Thomas for the Colts. So congratulations to them. But really, when you look at it like this, it had to be an all phases win, just like last year's week 1 with the Bills. Everything had to come to play in some sort of way for the Steelers. And even if you look at it with how bad that offensive line was, Mitch Trubisky is a trooper. For him to stay in the play, really with that free play off the offsides, he could have very well just put a dump off over there. He said, nope, I'm going to go for it all. I'm going to go to Freiermuth over the middle. And that basically won the Steelers the game. And it's those types of plays that over the last couple years have been so important for the Steelers with this. When the offense just hasn't been able to get it going, that's whenever they need it. They needed someone in the room to go out there and say, you know what? Forget it all. I'm going to make a play. And Mitch Trubisky at least has me confident that in that way, if he can get himself available to make a play, he'll make it. And that was my biggest concern with the Steelers and one of the reasons why I had them going to 6-11. There's a lot of reasons with that, but again, Hall of Fame quarterback, you let him hang around, you're going to die. I mean, Mitch Trubisky's not going to the Hall of Fame at this point, but if you're going to hang around, I want you to go out there and kill him, and he did.
Yeah, that was an impressive play there on the free play. Break the sack, and then he found Freiermuth, and a few plays later he found Freiermuth again, and they were put in field goal range. So it's still week 1. Week 1 games are so weird. You never know. Like that's why I wasn't really that surprised that the Steelers won. Last year I was more surprised when they upset the Bills, but I thought the Bengals would win this game, but. I didn't expect the defenses to go completely off like that, though. That was something that I didn't. I knew the defense could have made plays, but I mean that day that performance was incredible, though.
Yeah, it was an incredible performance, but can you do that every single week?
No,
because that was an almost all-time performance right there. Because it's like. Well, you can't do it every week because T.J. Watt is out, but still, I can't. But the offense has to do better. They just have to. They have to put points on the board. You have to put. It was 23 yesterday. So, you got to have at least 27 points per game, and where is that going to come from?
Yeah, I'd like to see them throw the ball down the field. I mean, they did a couple times, but Trubisky just couldn't connect. That one to Boykin, which is out a little bit too far. And then I saw somebody posted on the All 22 that he had Pickens on one play. He was open and stuff, but there was pressure on the plays. He missed it. He missed bad too. But I mean, on elite level quarterback would have made that play though.
Yeah, he's not elite, but he made. You said he might bail you out of one game this year, Ty?
I think he can. Those are the type of games that you're wanting out of your quarterback, no matter who he is, especially in that situation with a quarterback with the pedigree of Trubisky. This guy was a first-round pick for a reason. There was a lot of reasons that it didn't exactly work out, but in those situations, you need your quarterback to step up, and he stepped up. And even if it wasn't the prettiest, even if you want Kenny Pickett to start tomorrow for the Steelers, you have to respect the fact that he stayed in this game.
Yeah, he did. He hung in there, hung tight. And then, what do you think now? Since now we got to really walk it back. Now, since we ain't trying to talk about next week, but Mac Jones ain't playing, so you're going against. You are the superior quarterback. The team with the superior quarterback.
Yeah, he's dealing with that back. Did they rule him out yet, or is he? They don't know.
I think he is.
Yeah, I know he's dealing with that back. I watched a little bit of just the highlights and everything I read on Twitter too. Like basically what everyone was saying before that, the Patriots offense right now is a mess, and they don't really even have a bona fide offensive coordinator. It's I guess it's Matt Patricia, So like I don't know, like they have like I guess a number of people that like they say are like influencing the offense, but they just don't have the receivers. You know, I don't know, Brandon, you know more about what's going on with the Patriots right now.
Well, what's going on with the Patriots is this. They brought back these daggone retreads from and they got ran out of the cities they were in. They went back to New England with his tail between his legs, and they got the pencil neck geek. The run plays for him, and now their offense is a whole mess. The quarterback is hurt now because this dude. They wanted New England out. They wanted him out yesterday. New England wanted him out to go to Detroit. They were begging him. I was like, please take him. He's our headache. Your headache now. But now he goes back, becomes a jerk, and goes back to New England with the ultimate. See, Belichick could earn the right to be a jerk. This dude has not. So
isn't it the same type of thing that most? Sorry to bust your bubble there, Brandon. My bad, but isn't it the same thing that you've seen with most of New England's coaching tree off of Belichick? Really, these guys try to be Bill Belichick II when that's a once-in-a-generation thing. Like, you have to have a certain charisma, a certain magnetism to you. Like, Bill Belichick and Greg Popovich, both of these guys of Serbian descent, like, they're able to walk into that room and just command it. And some of these guys just aren't able to. There's a wonder why guys like Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel, and even Josh McDaniels the first time around didn't exactly work out. The best, I seriously believe that the best in terms of what the Belichick tree that isn't in college, because it easily be Saban, probably has to be, it has to be Flores when you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, why? Because he knows how to command.
You know, his fingerprints are all over on that defense too. I mean, Terrell Austin, I think they had a great plan there. I think for the Bengals. I mean, you know, they gave up, that touchdown late and everything. But I mean, they were on the field so long, they were gassed. Their offense wasn't doing anything. But you could see already. I think it's an upgrade from Keith Butler.
For sure. I think that's what I said. Steelers had a different eyes on the organization. They needed a different set of eyes, a different set of a new twist during this post-Ben era. I see it. I see it in that defense, and we're seeing it with number 55.
Yeah, it's true. Flores, linebackers coach. If there was one coach to help, turn Bush's career around, it definitely would be Flores.
Everyone wants to say turn his career around. I want to say right the ship because, again, we know this guy has talent. It's all between the ears, like most professionals in this league. And if he can get his mind right, the game's gonna be right for him. I mean, that's the only thing that's stopping Devin Bush right now. Maybe because of injury, he might have lost maybe a quarter of a step. But the rest of that can be gained with mental ability right there. And I feel that he can do that. What else do we want to talk about when it comes to this? I mean, we talked about Trubisky. Let's talk about the injuries, I guess. And, of course, Najee Harris, his Lisfranc injury fired back up again. But it seems that the Steelers just barely dodged a bullet. Yeah, and
we can't hear you, Chris. So now what do you want to so let's talk about this TJ Watt situation. Is it like torn, confirmed torn, or what are they saying?
There's been different reports. Some saying that like it's going to be, a long recovery. But the most that I've seen is that they're saying that it's like partially torn and like he'll be out 6 weeks or stuff, but I think we'll know for sure tomorrow, a better idea though. I mean, it's kind of been, he's going to get like a second, third opinion. I think I read.
I think, you know what? I think it's completely torn.
You think so?
I'm betting that the Steelers just do not, or the team just did not want to get that information out right now. I think it might be torn enough that he might need surgery.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Cabali said he's going to be out for a long time. He emphasized long, so that was one report. And then I think the other one was from I think Johnson. His last name is. He's for CBS. Who said that I have it tweeted on my thing.
Can you guys hear me right now? Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we hear you.
Yeah, Mike went out for a second, but yeah, the word
Jonathan Jones of CBS said there's some optimism today in Pittsburgh that T.J. Watt did not experience a full pec tear and will be able to return after sitting for a month or so. Still awaiting word from the team. So that's one. So it's kind of different people are saying different things.
Didn't J.J. Watt have this injury at one point?
Yeah, in 2019, I think he did it. He tore it in week 8, and he came back for the playoffs, and that was week 8. So I don't know. I guess maybe he could come back for the year. End of the year or whatnot. But I don't know. The best news would be if he's out for like a month or so, and they get him back. I guess like around before the bye or whatever.
I think the worry for him is whenever. When it comes to a torn pec, from what I've read up, is when the blood starts pooling. If you remember we're all wrestling fans here, so if you remember the last time Triple H tore his pec, and you could see it, and also Cody Rhodes with his torn pec, when the blood pools, that's whenever you start seeing the nastiness that a torn pec.
Yeah, we have to see his chest because we saw. I'm sorry. Yeah, we saw. We watched the Hell in a Cell with him and Seth Rollins, not to talk about wrestling here, but yeah, that when you tear your pec, it looks ugly.
It goes black and blue like automatically, or like after, like how long?
After about a day.
After about a day. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like when Watt came off the field, he was saying like, I tore my pec. So, I don't think he's ever had that. I don't know for sure if he has ever had that injury. I know he had a bunch of knee injuries, but his brother had the same injury, so I guess he felt whatever J.J. Watt described and stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully it's partially if he's out for a good amount of the season. Obviously that's a huge blow to the defense. Malik Reed will have to step up, and then have Alex Highsmith who had a great game on Sunday. So, but I don't know, it's tough to not have the reigning defensive player of the year, obviously.
I think even if TJ manages to avoid the worst of this injury, it's still something that will affect the Steelers for the rest of the season, because when you think about it, this goes into managing snaps with the Steelers as well. And in terms of it, we all know that TJ loves to go full bore out there and then maybe take a down off to allow the rotations in it. This massively affects that rotation timeline for the Steelers.
And plus, your pec ain't gonna be right the rest of the year, because you're gonna eventually, how pecs work. I think you're gonna eventually gonna need surgery. You just might have to delay it till after the year. You just ain't gonna have surgery right now. Yeah. They go offensive linemen go after that. Yeah. All day, every day. I would.
Yeah, they're saying that if he has surgery, it's like a season-ending injury. I don't know if he'll be able to come back for the playoffs or not. But so I'm sure probably tomorrow we'll find out on what his status is. At the earliest he'll be back is a month from now. That's obviously since he did at least partially tear.
All right. So now as we move away from injuries, you guys want to talk about the rest of the defense. And, of course, when you look at everything, 7 sacks, 5 turnovers, it was an all-around great day. Again, as we mentioned at the top of the show when it comes to it. But let's talk about the other players not named Minkah Fitzpatrick or T.J. Watt in there. I think you have to put one in there as Cam Hayward doing a great job on the defensive line. Yeah. And then out in the secondary, Akello Witherspoon gets a pick. Cam Sutton did some solid work. Yes, did he get beat on what was thought to be the game-winning touchdown by Jamar Chase, but that's just a well-designed route and really not much you could do in that situation.
He's a tough receiver to defend. He's quick off the line of scrimmage, and I think he had went over 100 yards. I think he had 10 receptions. Oh, he was targeted 16 times. So, he's a tough player to play against. So, I think T. Higgins, he got a concussion, I think. was out.
Yeah, he had a concussion early in the game.
Yeah,
so they were down to 2.
Yeah, but I mean the Bengals they have a talk. They got to figure out that offensive line though. That's really the thing with them right now.
Like,
I want to say this right now just to confirm it with you, Kresh. Yes, you are right. 10 receptions, 129 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. But what do you guys think of that? What was your first reaction when Minkah Fitzpatrick had that pick 6 and T.J. Watt had that big block on Burrow too? Like that was right off the bat. I was like, wow, what a way to start the 2022 season.
I think it was like, we here. This is a new defense. This is a new era, which the Steelers needed. They needed to get this defensive identity back. It was taken away from them for a few years. It just seemed like it was just weird. It was just weird for them to just get ran on and dog walk like that all season long last year. It's tough to see that. We need that Steeler mentality back.
Yeah,
and I'm glad it's here.
I think it was okay. You got us the last 3 games. When you faced us the last 3 games, you got us, and now it's like, all right, we know what's expected from you. Now you're going to see what we've got, and let's see what you can do with it. And that's how you answer back from getting beat on for the last 3 games played across the past 2 seasons.
Right.
That's how you get back into the swing of things and tell the Bengals, okay, you're the hot shots right now. Now let's see how it is when someone comes up and punches you right in the mouth. And that's what the Steelers defense did. They went up there and said, oh, nice new acquisitions on your offensive line. Really hope that helps you out, but it's not going to help you today. That's how you do it.
You're right. And there is a factor. They know they're not, because we all know they're not used to getting. They're not used to that. The Steelers ain't used to getting dominated by the Bengals like that. And they wanted to put a stop to that yesterday. We'll see what happens when they come back over here later in the season.
Looks like we lost
Brandon,
just as he was trying to get to his point. But he is right. That second matchup's gonna be awfully spicy now.
Oh yeah,
especially after this.
Yeah, well, the Bengals they were talking, last year when they swept the Steelers, and even before that when they won in 2020, the second meeting. So, but last year they were like they really rubbed it into the Steelers. So I think that's first game of the year they upset the Bengals. I think that's why you saw the Marcus Allen, video he posted on Instagram with what's AB song again?
Turn that up.
That's right. And Mike Tomlin was even doing
turn it on. Excuse me.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin was even doing the dance and stuff. So it's funny. And yeah, we have to mention the black Air Force Ones that Tomlin got out all the I think 146 pairs. Cody Sable spray painted them. What did you guys think? That was pretty funny when I saw that on Saturday. It was trending all over Twitter and everything.
That's the theme of the game, Black Air Force energy. I mean, that really was the entire theme of that Steelers win. It was just basically, especially with the defense at least, saying we're going to come in there and we're going to take it over. But, of course, I got to give Cody Sable a ton of credit with that because that was basically spray paint.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's putting your reputation on the line a little bit there. And some Ravens fan trolled him on. We said, I think I'll live with it. So all credit to him because 146 pairs, and he got that done on Saturday.
Yeah,
he got it like I think he got the assignment like maybe late Thursday night into Friday morning.
Yeah, I'm like, why would Nike be out of stock? I was kind of surprised that they were out of stock.
Yeah, because black Air Forces are probably one of the more common shoes, and
really?
because it became a meme.
Yeah.
So that
I didn't know about the sneak. I'm not really big into sneakers and everything, so I didn't know about it until George Pickens when he did the the viral draft day reaction, and everybody you explained it Ty about how saying like he has black Air Force One energy and everything, and so that was pretty funny that Tomlin did that. I think he using that as like a chip on their shoulder. Everybody's doubting them and everything, and saying that they're doubting how they're going to succeed without Roethlisberger and picking them to finish last in the division and everything. So it was kind of funny. Like during the game, people were saying like that the offense needs to turn their black Air Force Ones in. So,
they had a point. I mean, it was more white Air Maxes or white New Balances if you're trying to get on Jack Harlow and his love of Joe Burrow. But so, I mean, when you look at it like this, as Brandon's repeatedly trying to join in there in his connection. Brandon, are you all good now?
I don't know.
We're trying to get your thoughts before you cut out again about the Black Air Force statement that the Steelers made on Sunday, and of course also in social media.
I'm still backstage.
Is he on right now?
No, here. Let me remove him and then add him back. Let's try it now. Are you good now? You're on. You're visible now.
I said, yeah, we see you on now.
Yeah, we see you on. Now he's messing up. We'll just continue on, I guess, as we try to fix this through there.
Yeah, even LeBron James commented on the video, everything. He was saying that he laughed about it. How Tom, he said he was setting the tone. I think for this year and everything. But,
for all of I guess his fair weatherness, I'm so glad he decided he's never really repped Cincinnati. He'll go anywhere else. He'll choose Cleveland as always. But I'm really glad that he decided not to use Cincinnati because that'd just be weird for a guy like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Northeast Ohio guy. It's on the other side of the state. It's almost in Kentucky, so it's pretty different city. In that regard and everything. So, but yeah, it was funny though the whole Black Air Force One. I didn't really. Tomlin's he's kind of branching out, more he's on social media more now. He's on Instagram and everything. And he was asked about. Did you guys listen to the press conference? He was asked about it, and he kind of he didn't want to go there. It was just after the game, so of course, that was probably the last thing on his mind.
Yeah, blows a kiss, kisses the camera, and
yeah, exactly.
That's his new thing, and I'm like, yes, go ahead, keep on doing that.
That game was a little too nerve-wracking though, especially with the whole TJ Watt. No one knew if or we still don't know if he's going to be out for the year or not. So it was a great win, but it was kind of a sloppy game. It was like a typical Week 1 type of game, just But credit to the Steelers, they to beat the defending AFC champion, Bengals and everything. Everybody, the Bengals have a good team, but we'll have to see how they continue their success because they did it last year. But like I said before, they have to figure out that offensive line situation because they got to protect Burrow. I mean, if he gets injured, he got injured his rookie year and everything. I mean, they'll be done for the year then.
I think it's all about now. It's now everyone sees what you can do, and now it's time to answer back. That's the difference between them and them this year and them last year. It's just that everyone's seen it. So now it's the challenge for them is trying to either fight through it and still make what they want to happen or find new ways to get the job done. And for the most part, they're bringing back that entire team from the Super Bowl, so they can do this if they work hard enough at it.
They get the Cowboys next week, so after a Week 1 loss, I'm sure they're going to get back in the W column. And what do you guys? Do you think the Steelers should trade Mason Rudolph to the Cowboys?
That would be a good thing for them right now in terms of what they need. If you want to give him an opportunity to truly show something in this league and not be a guy that's effectively behind probably the worst possible situation to get drafted in ever stands of actually becoming a bust. So yeah, I definitely would try to see how much they could get for him at this moment, and also there's just so. I mean, Dallas is just a mess right now, and I'm pretty sure he could come in here. He could come into Dallas and just be him. And frankly, at this point, it's good enough because they're already booing the guy that they have as the franchise effectively right now. and it mostly wasn't even his fault last night.
Yeah, they're definitely looking rough right now. The whole offense. Only 3 points. I think I saw they're the only team yesterday that didn't score a touchdown, or maybe the whole week one. The Monday night games going on now, but the games that were played. So I saw people were saying that they might give up a 4th round pick. If they could get that would be the Steelers should jump all over.
The Steelers versus the Patriots. That's the next game coming up. We're waiting on getting a Pat's writer for it. It's going to be exciting to talk about the Patriots in terms of, everything about the organization from whenever we... but again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Renegade Blitz. I'm Ty Polk. That's Brandon Walker. That's Chris Ward. And you have been listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Renegade Blitz podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Renegade Blitz, at @RBlitzPod, and @BlitzVideos. Read articles on RenegadeBlitz.com. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. The Renegade Blitz podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you can listen to podcasts.